KHOU 11 News at 6 starts now.
Good evening, I'm Marcelino Benito. Thanks for joining us. We begin with a developing story. Authorities are looking for this man after he allegedly killed a woman and her dog. Devon Roming is joining us live in Spring. Devon, the sheriff's office says the woman was apparently trying to help a friend?
That's right, Marcelino. Investigators say the woman who was shot was trying to help her friend who was involved with a domestic dispute with this man, Dimitri Humphrey, who is now wanted in this case. Police say he drove off from the scene in a white Jeep Wrangler with Texas plate TFN 4278. They're asking folks to be on the lookout for that truck. And investigators say this all started around 5:30 this morning in the parking garage of the Belvedere apartment off East Mossy Oaks Road. They say the woman who was shot tried intervening to help her friend who was in the middle of a domestic disturbance with Humphrey, and say when she showed up to the scene, that's when he pulled a gun and shot her and her dog.
We're not releasing any information on the victims in the case so far. We're still waiting next of kin on that. But we do have a good idea who our suspect is, and we're still trying to work our way up towards that.
Now, while police haven't released the identification of the woman, they did mention that she was in her late 20s, about 27 or 28 years old. The sheriff's office says Humphrey also has felony warrants that are unrelated to this case. And again, they're asking anyone with information about Humphrey's whereabouts that could lead to an arrest to call police. For now, live in Spring, Devon Roming, KHOU 11 News.
Just a tragedy, Devon. Hopefully they make an arrest soon. Thank you. We know these stories can be tough to hear. If you or someone you know is in a bad situation at home, here are some places that can help. Daya Houston, the Houston Area Women's Center, and the Family Time Crisis Center. We also have these numbers up on our website, khou.com. A child has drowned at a home in Spring. It happened around 1 p.m. on Cortlandt Circle. That's just off Fountain Grove Lane, not far from Luetta Road and Kleinwood Drive. The Harris County Sheriff's Office says a 4-year-old was found this morning. Homicide and crime scene units are at the scene. Preliminary information is no adults were around when that child drowned. No word right now if any charges are being filed. Police are investigating a possible shooting in the Montrose area. Around 2 a.m., people in the neighborhood reported hearing gunfire and screaming. It happened at the intersection off Garrett and Hawthorne Street. Police found shell casings and blood, but they did not find any victims. We also saw a gas can and broken glass at the scene, but it's unclear if those items are related. Officers said they're checking hospitals for anyone who may have been involved. More than 1,000 people are dead after a rare and powerful earthquake hit Morocco. The death toll is expected to rise. Rescuers are struggling to get to the country's remote areas. Boulders are blocking the roads. The 6.8 magnitude earthquake is the strongest to hit the northern African country in more than 120 years. The epicenter was about 45 minutes southwest of the historic city of Marrakesh, where Cindy Goldberger from Houston was visiting for a conference.
There was just like this weird moment where you heard like the birds like flying, and then all of a sudden the ground just started shaking, and glasses and things started falling off tables, and everyone kind of simultaneously got up, and we moved to one side of the patio where like away from the walls.
More than 1,200 people were hurt, hundreds of those critically. Morocco has declared 3 days of national mourning. Monday marks 22 years since the September 11 terror attacks. It was a life-changing moment for millions of Americans, and that includes one Houston family who honored the life of their son and others who fought on the front lines. Troy Kless has the story from Houston National Cemetery.
Years pass, but the date always takes you back in time.
I didn't understand the significance of that, until my husband called me and told me we're going to go to war. My first thought, of course, was my son. U.S.
Marine Staff Sergeant Robert Pedro Mendoza. From a young age, his parents say he was prepared.
He was part of the invasion of Iraq, and he did 3 tours, Iraq and Afghanistan. And so he wanted to do that. He talked about that since junior high. He wanted to be a Marine. He became a Marine.
Mendoza was a decorated parachute rigger. He came home and started a business making tactical gear for others on the front lines. First responders and the military spent Saturday honoring the sacrifices made since September 11th, taking the time to run in downtown, or cleaning the Houston National Cemetery, where Mendoza, who died from COVID, is laid to rest.
It just means so much to know, that my son did what he loved. He loved to be, he was willing to die for his country. He really was.
The Mendozas want others to take time to thank the men and women who sacrificed so much since that date 22 years ago.
I think it's important for our younger kids, so they can see, like my husband said, the sacrifices that our service people have made for this country. And hopefully it'll inspire them to do something, good with their lives.
So important to stop and remember. Troy, thank you for that. Now taking a live look towards the Met Center. This morning showers are gone, but there are some more changes on the way. Let's go to meteorologist Pat Kaplan. Hey, Pat.
Yeah, the showers are gone from the city, but we do still have a few storms on radar. We'll show you that in just a second. Live look here from Missouri City. This is the top of our transmitter tower. We're looking northeast. You can see downtown there. Great visibility right now, and that's because we got low humidity in place for some areas. Can't rule out an isolated storm, though, as we go through the rest of the overnight. You'll really get the humidity drop, though, as we get into tomorrow. That'll stick around through Monday as well before, some more rain chances come in by the middle and the end of the week. So there's some of the storms that I'm talking about. This is from the roof of our studios here, and we're looking down towards the southwest. So there's a southwest freeway. So this is down towards Brazoria, Matagorda, Fort Bend counties. You can see these big towering cumulus clouds. Those are the thunderstorms that we're tracking for you. 100 right now in Tomball, 97 at Bush, 91 Galveston, 94 in Conroe. Dew points, again, not that bad in the low to mid 60s, but notice the darker green down here, an 82-degree dew point in Palacios. That boundary between drier air and more humid air is helping to set the stage for some pretty feisty thunderstorms down to the south. This one just dropped its severe thunderstorm warning in the last few minutes, but that was a really feisty storm that was going for about a half an hour to 45 minutes here through Wharton and Matagorda counties. A little farther to north, though, you can see a couple more downpours starting to develop up towards the New Gulf area. Nothing severe here, a couple lightning strikes, but notice that really thin green line here, that green ribbon. That's an outflow boundary, and that's what's helping to spark off these storms as it lifts to the north, which means areas into Fort Bend County and maybe even into western portions of Harris County. If this boundary makes it far enough north, we could maybe see some more development there up towards the Sugar Land and Katy area. Farther north and west, we've got a big cluster of storms coming down from the Metroplex and down from North Texas. We'll have to keep an eye on that. I think we could see maybe some of these as we go through the overnight hours. So it's a stalled boundary to cross the area right now. That's going to bring us the chance for a few overnight storms, but the winds are generally out of the northeast, so that's going to bring us low humidity. As long as we are on this side of the boundary, humidity is going to be on the lower side. So I think that's going to be the case for tomorrow. Still hot with temperatures in the mid 90s, but it feels better with that drop in the humidity. And we stay on the lower humid side of things as we get into Monday as well, before things start to creep back as we get into Tuesday and Wednesday. So there's future track as we get to the overnight, probably around midnight. A couple downpours and thunderstorms, I think, west of the city, maybe about a 30% chance. So it's not a guarantee. I think the city and points east stay dry. And then for tomorrow, we'll start you off in the mid to maybe upper 70s. It's a dry day. Again, the humidity drops. It's still hot with highs in the mid 90s, but with low humidity, we're looking at a mainly cloudless sky. So that drop in humidity is going to be with us again for Sunday and Monday. It's going to be a real nice break here from the high humidity that we've seen for the last few days. But by the middle of the week, it does start to creep back, and that will come, thankfully, with some rain chances as well. So dry Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. It's a 30% chance Wednesday, and then up to a 60% chance as we get into Thursday, as another frontal boundary, this time a cold front, approaches the area as we get into Thursday and Friday. So rain chances come in during that time period. A couple storms maybe ahead of that on Wednesday, but the best chances are Thursday and Friday. And by the time it's all said and done, we could get a quick 1 to 2 inches of rain. So this is not going to be a drought-busting cold front, but again, anything at this point is going to help. We could see some pockets of higher amounts, though, maybe 2 to 4 inches. But again, we need about 12 to 15 inches of rain at this point to break the drought. Quickly in the tropics, we're still watching Lee, a Category 3 storm expected to regain strength as a Cat 4 hurricane over the next few days for the start of the upcoming week, and then it makes that turn to the north. Still a lot of questions as to where it goes. By Thursday, though, it's still several hundred miles south of Bermuda, so all interest on the East Coast need to keep an eye on this. For us here in the Gulf, though, we are going to stay quiet. 76 for the overnight, couple storms possible. We're up to 97 then for tomorrow. It's hot, but it's not humid. 98 then for the high temperature on Monday, 97 Tuesday. Marcelino, I cannot remember the last time I gave you a forecast where there was not a single triple-digit temperature on this screen. So some really nice stuff there in that regard. There's the rain chances Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then lower humidity again by next weekend.
It's been a while, Pat. We'll take it. Thank you. Happening right now, Needville is celebrating their boys baseball team who had a great run at the Little League World Series last month, finishing in 4th place. Maria Aguilera is joining us live from the Hometown Hero celebration at Blue Jay Stadium in Needville. Hey, Maria.
Hey, Marcelino. Yeah, the event wrapping up early, actually. They made an announcement that there could be some storms coming, so people started heading out and making their way out of the stadium. But I can tell you that there's lots of excitement here and even some emotional moments. A big moment here was when the mayor presented the team and their coaches with the key to the city of Needville. The bleachers back here were filled earlier today. Of course, people started making their way out of here, but all of them came here to celebrate the Needville Little League team. This Hometown Hero celebration began about an hour ago. There were a lot of speeches from the mayor, the coaches, and other folks behind the team. Now, all of them have expressed how proud they are of these boys and how far they went. Some of them even shed some tears. This just really goes to show how much this means to this team and this community. Now, next up for the Little League team, they're actually going to be the Grand Marshals at the Fort Bend County Fair Parade. That's going to be happening later this month. Marcelino.
Maria, 4th place is not bad at all. Plenty of reasons to celebrate down there. Thank you so much. And Pat, you called it. Storms in the area, pushed off the parade.
Storm's about 5 to 10 miles to the west right now, but hopefully it doesn't cause any issues. Hopefully nothing severe.
All right, that does it for us, but we'll have more news tonight at 10 after college football. And remember, you can stay connected with us anywhere using the KHOU 11 app. It is free to download in the Apple and Google Play stores. We'll see you tonight.